Y'all, I cannot even tell you how unbelievably excited I am for this video. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Hi, hello, how are you? How has your week been? For this week's video, I had an idea. Y'all absolutely loved my last video that I did where I was reading books that were originally published on Wattpad. So I was like, how can I incorporate more Wattpad content into my channel, into my videos? So I decided that I might start a little series where I reread and do a full spoiler reading vlog, reading like my most favorite books I've ever read on Wattpad. So that is what we are starting in this video, and I'm so excited because we're really going all in and doing my absolute most favorite book I have ever read on Wattpad for this first installment of this series. If you've never read Wattpad, if you've never heard of Wattpad, it is essentially an app, a website, a space for really just anyone can upload stories that they've written and other users can read them. There are some unfortunate things you can stumble upon in Wattpad. But then you can also stumble upon some absolute gems. Potter by the Wattpad user Lilyan Brooks. Obviously, if you can't tell by the name of the book, it is a Harry Potter fan fiction. What are you gonna do about it? I can't tell you what age I was when I originally found this book, but it was still an ongoing book and it is finished. So that's really satisfying. Because there are so many, countless amounts of books that have been absolutely amazing that I've read on Wattpad that are not finished. And so you don't get to know the ending of what happens to the characters or anything. But this one is finished. I started following along with this book when it had about like 60 parts. Well, now it's completed and it has 109 parts. So I had been following this book for a while. It currently says that the reading time is 1 day and 16 hours. For a total of 40 hours that it says it takes to read this book. Overall, this book has 102 chapters and a 7-part epilogue. And these chapters are hefty, like not like tiny little like 3-page parts and like that's a chapter. Wattpad has this new update now where you can see specifically when each part was posted, because it used to be where you could only see when the last part was updated, but now you can see when each part was updated. So now I can like go back and see when it was I discovered this book, because I can go back and look like around page like chapter like 62 and see when that was posted in August of 2014. Has it really been 9 years since I found this book for the first time? That actually makes me feel so old. I started following this book in about 2014, and then the last chapter was posted 3.5 years later. So I was reading this book like and following it along with it for 3.5 years. That's like basically as if you were waiting for like the author to publish the next book in a series. Let's read the little description the author has on here. Lily Potter is an average 15-year-old girl living in the United States in 2011. When magic upheaves her life and drops her and her younger brother into a beloved world she thought was fictional, she discovers old family secrets and family in general. This is your second reminder that this is going to be a full spoiler book. So if you have any interest in reading this book without having spoilers, like you should maybe like click off of this. Follows this girl, her name is Lily Potter, and she, at the time that the book begins, it's 2011, and she is currently like rereading the Harry Potter series, her favorite book series, when she and her brother time travel and are put back into the time of the Harry Potter books. They get put into the world when it's like halfway through the 5th book, halfway through the Order of the Phoenix. Like Dumbledore has brought her back to use her knowledge of the Harry Potter books to kind of change the future. So while it is a Harry Potter fan fiction, there are so many aspects of this book that are different. It makes it so much more interesting and so much more fun to read. I honestly can't tell you how many times I've read this book. I think I've read the whole thing through at least twice, and I don't know how many times I like reread like all of the parts like as the book was still being published. I remember, I think I was a sophomore in high school when I finally got two of my friends to read it over Christmas break, and like they straight up like did not sleep until they finished the book, like loved it so much. So if you are a Harry Potter fan, I highly recommend like reading this book, because it does end up being so different from the books. It like feels like new content, you know? So let's get started. I don't know how long I've been reading. I am currently on chapter 4, I think. Lily just met Draco for the first time in Diagon Alley. It's making me super giddy just because I already know like what happens regarding the two of them. I've been reading for probably like 30 minutes and I'm only like 2% of the way through the book. I did like rig it so I am reading it on my Kindle. Honestly though, this book's gotta be absolutely massive because it's currently saying it's gonna take me like 27 hours to read this book, and normally with like a 350 page book, it tells me it's gonna take me like 8 hours to read it. I'm currently 4% into the book. We are at the part they just got back to Hogwarts after Christmas break, and Lily is getting sorted into her house. Oh, Lily Potter obviously is related to Harry Potter. She is the daughter of James's little brother Jacob, who was a squib who was in with Voldemort and then used a time turner to go into the future. So that's why she's like now been transported back, because it's like her real time, you know? And Snape is being real weird involving Lily. Now we're getting into the good part. Okay, I read another 3% and I just wanted to give a quick update before what happens next happens, because you know I've already read this book like several times and I know what's about to happen, and I think this part that's about to happen is like the craziest part of this book, like the strangest part. But it's like the end of their 5th year. Lily Potter and Draco are dating. Oh, they're just so cute. And like now Draco's like not nice, but like not terrible. They're going to the ministry where the prophecies are and stuff, because Harry had the vision that Sirius has been kidnapped by Voldemort. Here's where things get a little crazy. So, she just died. She just got killed by Bellatrix. In the Ministry of Magic. I just love to film clips when I'm reading in the car waiting for my groceries. I just finished chapter 15. Let me catch you up on what's happened. So obviously she's not dead. She came back to life because, you know, things like that happen. And then Draco broke up with her because, you know, he's in his 6th year. The drama, he's trying to fix the teleportation thingamabob. The drama. It's like 11:33. I'm like 18% of the way through the book. Lily convinced Draco to be a spy for the Order. So now they're being all cute. Well, not now, but they were being all cute. Lily decided to go back to Hogwarts for her 7th year, but she's going disguised as a Longbottom. Now she just got news that Draco's missing. So this is where things start getting really good, guys. I'm telling you. I forgot about this part. Fred just kissed Lily. That's real awkward. So, Draco just died. We're not even halfway through this book yet. Like, it's wild. it's Monday. I am over 25% of the way through the book, which I honestly thought I'd be further along by now than that, but I'm not. Yeah, so Draco died. He was undercover for the Order. No, he was like a secret, like double agent for the Order in with the Death Eaters, and he got like hit by some crazy spell that made him really ill, and then he died. And now Lily is going deep cover in Hogwarts. She is pretending to be Neville Longbottom's like fake cousin, so she can be like undercover for the Order. I just really enjoy this book, especially now that we've gotten to the 7th year. This part is just like the best part, in my opinion. I just really love this book. Because like, he's the enemy. He's a literal Death Eater and he's terrible. His name's Marcus Thatcher. But like, I just can't. This is why I will never survive in the real world. Marcus Thatcher is a Death Eater. He just smooched Lily as she's in disguise. I don't know what's going on. Lily and Marcus were kissing? Well, okay, technically Alicia, because that's who Lily's Polyjuice potioning as. But Thatcher called her Lily when he shouldn't know that she's Lily. I think this was probably like the original Enemies to Lovers book that I read. It's so good. Now let it be known that I have never fainted in my life, with exceptions of curses and deaths. But when one sees their supposedly dead boyfriend standing in front of them, fainting can happen. I have a problem. Okay? Before I say this, just remember that her name is Lily Potter. And that's who is being spoken to right now. And you know I'm not the begging kind, but for you, Potter, anything. I can't handle this. It's been like 2.5 hours, I guess. I'm just under 50% of the way through. It says I've got like 12-ish hours left of reading. Oh, Lily and Theodore Knott are becoming closer because Draco has left the castle for a while, and Theo has a little crush on Luna, who just got kidnapped. So yeah. Anyways, I was reading more of Potter in my sorority chapter room earlier, and I had to stop because I knew what part I was coming to, and I really wanted to record my reaction, but I was in public, so I couldn't do that. So now we're getting my reaction. I say I'm getting to the end. I'm most of the way through. I am 92% of the way through this book. I've said before in videos that I am not a big fan of standalone romance novels because I really don't particularly like when books end right as the couple like gets together.
Like, that is like my biggest pet peeve with like romance movies and rom-coms, because like as soon as the couple gets together, like fade to black, the credits roll, and you never actually get to see the couple like being a couple. That's always like my favorite part of like the romance rom-com books, is like when you actually get to see the couple being a couple. And honestly, you probably could trace that preference back to this book. I just finished chapter 102, and it ended with Lily and Draco getting married. And we are now headed into the 7-part epilogue. And like I said, it says I'm 92% of the way through this book. And currently, based on my reading speed, my Kindle is telling me that I have 1 hour and 58 minutes left in this book. So I still have almost 2 hours of reading left, and like the main plot points have been resolved. Like the big conflict has been resolved for a while. Now it's just like Lily and Draco like being together and navigating their lives now outside of the war and stuff. And so honestly, like, you get to see them like being together, being a couple, living life together for so long in this book. I don't know exactly how many years they take place over, but they take place over at least like 10 years. And you just get to see little snippets of Lily and Draco and the people like that they're close with like throughout the years and like throughout their relationship. So let's get to reading my like favorite part of this book.
Lighting is very wonky because it's very gray outside. I just finished my reread of Potter. It's just so good. I really don't know what else to say about it because I have already shared like so much of my thoughts on that book. Anyways, guys, that is all I have for you today. It took me about a week to read this book. And like when I say read this book, I mean I was like reading it every spare second I had. So that is a very long book. Anyways, yes, I'm hoping this to be the start of a series on my channel of me reading like my other favorite books on Wattpad, because currently I have about at least 2 other books in mind that I could make a video like this on and say that they are some of my favorite books I've ever read on Wattpad. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next Saturday. Bye.